Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. We've got a Meepo on our hands. Palos Meepo for Execration. So I feel like they do have a decent amount of control for this Meepo to work with.
They do. I mean, X is kind of another pseudo anti-force staff spell. Sure. Not 100%, but it kind of lets you buy the time and close the gap better. So it works in that sense. Shanks will go down the river. First blood to Carl. So that's pretty much what Blacklist want to see here. A quiet early game where they're doing well in all three lanes and their tusk is snowballing.
Now he's got some stacks and he was looking to do those stacks and then he found a bigger creep. It's going to be AU who's going to die here. Maybe getting the suicide on the Ancients, not quite. So this is not a game where Beastmaster is going to be able to take an Ancient stack to get really far ahead.
I feel like if you're going to lead the lane as Meepo, you're doing stacks or you're just perma-jungling. To kind of come back and do this back and forth. A little weird for me, but
I still think you get it though.
Yeah, this is a really big one.
Sprout's going to be able to separate them a little bit here. Tim's going to come into the rescue, trying to get the battery assault. A couple of boost's do go off. Bosco takes a healthy amount of damage, and Bob is here to make sure that they get the kill. Palos is going to be caught. His lure Meepo is going to go down as Carl cuts in from the side. Gets a little bit of revenge and might even be able to save. No, never mind. Tim's is very, very dead. They also have that neat combo we just saw there, which we'll probably see more of later on in the game.
I don't think he had to go this early Blight Zone. I don't think he had to play too greedy. I think he could have just bought regen, played the lane with Glimpse into like the level 2 boar. There wasn't that good an answer for it. Instead, they've kind of deserted this lane and now, you know, just feeding away a level 6 beast kill trying to get the helm. The Blacklist want to fight them? Do they just want to rat the map? Carl seems like he wants to fight. Into his room. Pretty nice setup here.
Step lively now. Your ally is on board.
He steps just a little bit too far forward here. They're going to go for the kill now with a TP coming in up the clockwork as well. Bob should be dead. They're going to try and buy him some time here. The boat's going to go out, but ultimately Pino's just going to get caught right alongside Bob. Now this is a 2-for-1 special with Blacklist bringing their whole team up here to be able to defend their tower and get 1, 2, and now a third kill with Shanks getting run down by Carl as well.
I don't like this kind of push. I think you have to respect the global ability of
AoE Shadow Word with a Meepo.
Yeah, that's not bad. The problem is this spell is... Does it work when you're dug in?
I don't know. So all I've gotten here so far, hold up, nice hook shot follow-up after a beautiful snowball in from Carl. I mean, they were just sitting kind of right next to the high ground there.
What are these pushes, man? They're so weird.
Yeah. Palos is going to pop out here and try and go for the Rubik kill with the Meepo. Gets one, but he's surrounded by heroes, so this is a little dicey. If he loses the Meepo here, it's going to be a really big setback. Tries to go for Bosku. Sprout is going to be able to separate the two. Bob does manage to hit the boat there and separate himself from the rest of the enemy team. Palos trying to clean up. Will be able to get Tim's as well. Glimpse? No glimpses. Looks like everybody else from Blacklist. The cores, the important people, do manage to get out.
Well, you know what seems good? This upheaval in the late game with the attack speed talent for me.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds so damn nice with Boat Rum on top. Honestly, they have the Beast Aura as well. This is a Meepo lineup.
Dude, he did it to him again. He hit him with the counter X on the X. He only fights after there's at least 2 lanes of barracks down. Look at him. They dug.
Dig. Oh, where are they?
Dug away.
They're back. The rat. Dude, he's the real rat.
I mean, it is a relatively long cooldown. It's 40 seconds.
All right, they're jumping one.
So he's going to lose his Aegis here. That's going to be Meepo life number 1. Tim's went forward, had the X, whether for good or for an ill.
Oh, run the Meepo.
The Meepo, they're going to go for it. The Static Storm trying to protect as much as possible, catching the AM with a Primal War, and he's dead. They couldn't get him with a snowball save. That's what Carl was hoping to be able to pull off there, but not quite good enough. And now Execration might just end the game.
Where he peaks is when he gets shard and he starts flinging the Meepos in on you.
Oh my god! I actually forgot that was a shard. Yeah, let's wait for second Roshan. I need to see that in action.
Fling. Found the Kunkka.
Okay, that's a good pick off. Very nice. Is that yeah, no, that was their Static Storm.
Yeah, they're just gonna abandon the fight here. Palos is nowhere near this. Says, what were you guys doing there? Thing is, I don't even feel like Palos has had to do much, honestly. But there hasn't been any crazy fights he's had to micro his ass off to win, or he just kind of head-on man fights. And here's another one. All the ults.
This is BKB going, and he tried to go for the kill on Tino, but it's not nearly good enough. Now we get roared up again. Alice doesn't care about that, though. He wanted to go for more. Went for Bosku. He BKB TP'd out. AU is going to be caught. So they'll get the 2 supports out of that initiation. Another fight that Blacklist tries to jump in, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, maybe he's not the best, but he's still one of the ultimate cheese heroes. And in this type of game, he just punished the hell out of these 3 cores. They got nothing on this guy.
And Palos is going to go above a 50% win rate with Meepo. As long as they win this fight, which it's looking pretty good, Raven can't even do anything. He can't even go in. The Meepo is just too terrifying. And now they're both on him and Bosku. Raven mantas and managed to blink out, but now it's making.
I think they're doing negative damage to this guy.
Yeah.
By fighting him, they're healing him more than...
Yeah, his HP pool is actually pretty massive now, thanks to all the hits he's been doing with Ransack.
There's not much to say about this team, honestly. It's just Amiibo last pick, 5-man, and they don't... I mean, you can't play Dota, so you go next. What else is there to say?
My only regret is that we didn't get to see Fling, because the game ended without a second Roshan even being needed for execution, so... Well, we are not bias casters here. I just want a good game of Dota, and everybody wants to see a game 3, right, Avery? I remember when he was like the strongest hero in that first 30 seconds of a lane. First blood goes to Tim's in the top lane as Shanks overextends himself a little bit.
I'm gonna try and take down Palos here if they can get the leap block.
Yeah, they tried to stay in front of him. Not quite enough, though. Palos does a good job of sneaking his way through. But right now, this lane is pretty difficult. He's just about to hit level 5. Doesn't have his ultimate. Pull back here onto Tino or Pickoff's Blacklist. They've reached a point, not only did they do pretty well in their lanes, but this is a good time for Blacklist to set up a nice big advantage.
They also have greedy supports in terms of winning the levels, so they can move the Kunko around, kick the Sark out of lane. It's going to open up some space for this Rubik ET to get a lot of the levels they so desire. Another quick rotation back to Mick and Carl here and looking for the 2-for-1.
Yeah. Gonna die again as the big hit comes out, and actually Tim somehow snagged the last hit. Raven is gonna go for the straight up TP out. So he didn't have Sunder, better to just TP away.
This will result in tier 1 kill for Tino, and he's gonna ult and try and clear off the waves. Not even a fight happening. Other than Palos run down.
Needs these creeps to die so he can get his level 6. It's just not going to happen. Well played by Blacklist, making sure the Slark didn't get a free level 6 behind the tower. Good catch.
Zone control with it sticking around your wards in the Ancients, because they warded deep and then they just lost all the wards. If you look at the map, just a bunch of red sentries that killed everything.
Tino didn't pull the EX back in time for the Earth Splitter, but they still hit some other spells. And Tino, especially with Tim's, having still holding on to the Avalanche from, how long does it last? 3 minutes ago.
The lineup is very strong in the 5-on-5. I'd say it's stronger between ET and Kunko, especially in these early fights. Execration kind of want to give it to him here. Lurking.
Taking around on the side, getting the pick off on Bosku would be a really nice start, but they don't quite have the damage. The overgrowth doesn't hit Bosku. Tino's going to try for it now by himself. Bosku going back in with the silence. That was crazy. Okay, well.
That was a Bosku play.
Was he glimpsed back?
Yeah, he did get glimpsed back.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he can live.
Never BKB shame your cores. Just be thankful they went the item at all.
Be thankful you have this moment with them in time.
Carlo is going to be caught with a spirit-giving vision. Carl gets close enough to hit the X, and Carlo will be brought low by the Night Stalker.
The night cometh with a hammer of justice.
It does kind of feel like Blacklist. Oh, nice grab there, Bob. With the high ground toss back onto Carl. That's going to force him to use his BKB. And he's actually going to go for the kill on a Bob here with the Axe Boat. And now the Night Stalker coming in. Bob is actually going to die. And Palos barely gets away. Fortunately, the glimpse sent the Night Stalker back. And so the crippling fear ran out. And Palos was able to get off his Shadow Dance.
And you kind of got to respect that BKB if you're Execration. You can't really overextend on this Kunko on the jump. You're not going to ever burst it. And then you're just giving him the initiation instead of the other way around.
250 wake-up damage threshold.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think that Tidebringer hit didn't even wake the Slut Tiny there. That's pretty nice. You can buy a lot of time with this spell now.
Radiant's middle tower.
Dino teleporting out. Void's going to stop him. Crippling Silence is also there. I'm honestly... There's a whole host of abilities, and he's going to get meteor hammered in the corner. Damn. Meanwhile, though, AU gets low, but Palos Overgrowth goes out. Sure. Do they have a follow-up, though? They try to send to him. It's still not enough. The Living Armor is going to go down. Bob will finish him off with the Haste Rune that he's still rocking. He needs to use that Haste Rune to skedaddle, though. Doesn't have a TP out for another 8 seconds, so he's just going to hope, wait, and pray.
That was pretty nice Overgrowth. Not only you're getting 1 kill off this fight during daytime, I don't think it's enough here for your Execration.
Yeah, he's stuck in the crippling fear. Slark is dead. This is looking really bad. I mean, Blacklist, we've talked about how, you know, they're not necessarily team to choke you out, but
on top of Raven, you know, he really likes this hero.
Did you mention Raven went to BKB?
I did not.
This is a very early game item progression. This is kind of like, you know, ending the game now sort of play. Toss back onto the Rubik. That's a decent opening with the Avalanche over the top.
Nice
it looks
Overgrowth.
okay, but the double BKBs go out with the Overgrowth, allowing Execration to be able to reset a little bit, and they got the kill on Tim's without losing anybody. Not bad. Can they get more? After all, it's daytime. Might as well go for it. It's the Avalanche, but still got the toss back onto the Terrorblade here. He has Aegis for 2 minutes, though. Was this really the target you were hoping for? Execration quickly realizing that this was not
the hammer.
And it got canceled. Oh, it got canceled. The X into hammer play doesn't work out, but
I don't think you have the magic burst to deal with him. You have a single Tiny combo. That's it. Everything else is right click here. So, are you going to be able to combat this Butterfly Terrorblade with BKB?
Oh, they got him.
Actually, second Aegis.
They got him just before the blinks. The X back pull on to Bob is guaranteed kill. And now it's nighttime once again with no Tiny. You're talking about going and, you know, doing what you can with the Butterfly.
At that point, you're just invincible from the physical. Maybe Execration looking to stall out that timing and try and take some engagement here. Just no damage.
Raven, but yeah, there is no damage whatsoever. And they're just going to get caught by the X. Execration. Tino going to be saved by the shard that was picked up by Palos, but they're going to pull him out of it with that tidal wave. Static Shard looked okay, but there's just golden heroes everywhere. 3 BKBs going off the hammer onto Shank. That'll show him. Bob, he tried to go in from behind to be able to catch some of the supports, but just gets swatted by the Night Stalker with Dark Ascension. And okay, let's go high ground. Apparently no need for a Butterfly.
I mean, Boss Q's pile driving your Disruptor with hammer. That's rough. I'm freeing up inventory space. There's a use here. There's a use argument. I'm not telling them that to roll this raindrop in the ocean. My teammate drops it, I kill that. To prevent this scandalous type of behavior.
So when your team tries to grief, you're ahead of them.
Exactly. Always 2 steps ahead. The number
You're not
one rule of
griefing me,
Dota.
I'm griefing you. Toss back.
Pretty good toss.
Okay. On to Carl.
Taking Overgrowth for BKB.
This is the guy with the AC of the BKB, but he doesn't want to use it. Now he uses it, but he's still stuck inside the Sprout. Finally gets through. Raven is still the big bad boss of this push, though, and they haven't dealt with him yet. Shanks, another 5 seconds, another toss back. This time out of chance. They're going to pop the Dark Ascension. They'll fight for this one. Telekinesis onto the Tree and Protector. They go for the kill. They get that one. Palos
bashed him.
Need to reset a little bit here. Another glimpse back, and the Night Stalker caught by the Overgrowth. Immediate BKBs go out from Blacklist, though. Oh, that's a Sunder, a beautiful one. As Bob tried to go for yet another toss back. Time and time he was getting it, but that time didn't work out, and he just gave Raven full health.
Man, if they could have kept Kunkka deeper in that base off that initial toss, with some Sprout or anything, and forced his BKB and Overgrowth it, they might have been able to win this fight. They're still going to try and clean it up here. Getting some stacks on Palos. Still has BKB.
Yeah, no meta. They can't let him go. Even if he has Aegis, they cannot afford for Blacklist to be able to reset for free after this one.
I mean, there's no Edisult and no BKBs here.
No BKB, no meta. Hold them in place. Kinetic Field, just play it slow. Execration can win this if they just play it slow. Palace needs to be careful not to die. Nice toss back Avalanche. That's a pretty good combo. Raven, he does have a Thunder, but he doesn't have any to target it except for an ally. He does use it to be able to go back up to full health.
Oh, no way.
No way! They just TP right in front of Execration's faces. And is all of BLACKLIST going to get away? Almost all of them. Tim's. Oh no, he's teleporting. Okay, he's got. He's
not getting out of that. Only so many Houdinis in the world. You can't all escape from the chest, you know. And he's got Elven Tunic on top of it, so he has a lot of evasion here. Even harder to get the stacks. Who get hit here to get stacks if you're Pulse? Start hitting your team. No.
That was Raven's idea with the Sunder anyway. Tino gonna be blasted. Didn't have, no, they do have detection. There's a gem up there. It's Bosco, but they couldn't really target the Nature's Prophet quite as well as they want. Right now, Palace is in pretty deep here, trying to go for him, but stalled up again by the Stomp. Really good hitting the backline heroes, but it stopped the Slark as well, so Slark's not even getting anything done while the team is being dove. He comes in through now, but he gets blocked out by the bounce, and that is just game over. BLACKLIST.
I feel like their lineup's kind of trying to do similar things to what BLACKLIST is, but then you're kind of playing into how they want to play the game. So it's a much better setup for BLACKLIST, regardless of the draft, or regardless of the position they're in the draft relative to how they want to play. That made no sense. Because NA is going to pick Timber in the games where they're like, oh, this is a free Timber game, and it's going to get destroyed on lane and not be able to do it. That's such an NA classic, right?
Tino, the final shot comes in from Raven. Tino, I mean, I feel like that just shouldn't happen.
Everybody mid for this push.
And as long as you can, it doesn't necessarily need the kill, right? As long as you can zone him out, keep getting damage onto this tower, that'll feel pretty good. Axe marks the spot, pull back into the boat. And Shanks is probably going to die here, but they might be able to get a return kill as AU's going to drop pretty low. Both the supports do fall. Now for the second part of the team fight.
You steal mine? No, son, I steal yours.
Trout Ranger's gonna run into Tino. That's not good. Oh, missed the Timber Chain too there for Bob. Tino's definitely gonna die here. Bob doing what damage he can, but the Kunkka is just not that squishy and just TPs away as soon as the damage starts to cut a little bit. They do have the Avalanche in from Shank, so at least they'll pick up the support, but Tino continues to have a bit of a rough one. They do need as many answers to Naga as possible in this game, because it really does all right on Palos, right?
To some degree, yes. In the ultralight, this Coddle will fall off and damage.
Does he have song? He has a level, he can queue it up, but I don't think he's going to have a chance to cast it here. Just too many stuns from BLACKLIST. So looks like they're going to give him a little bit of farming time here in bottom, and Tino and Carlo will play a bit more around Bob. Who, they are going to go for this kill, and he is not a tanky Timbersaw in this game. He went Arcane Boots Kaya. He doesn't have any defense against all of this kind of damage, and they pretty easily burst him down.
That Drought was chunking him. And then BLACKLIST can collapse again, which is what they're doing here. They still have hook shot up. Bob's going back in.
Imagine if Bob dies again, though.
They don't have both, though. That's a huge amount of damage. The stun is there this time.
They find the Kunkka trying to TP out right next to the tower. That was a curious one. They were kind of setting up for the push, and then Carl realized he was a bit out of position. Goes for a TP, gets spotted.
Time to get jumped.
They're going to go right past each other. They've got a deep ward on the Drow Ranger. That's why they're smoking up right now.
Even there's a birdie coming for you, son.
Yeah, he thinks it's all clear because his entire team is in front of him in lane. Little did he know that Execration snuck right past that smoke, either known or unknown, and manages to go straight for the throat of Raven, killing him. But it looks like BLACKLIST still want to fight this one. They're going to hit the hook shot onto the Tiny here. 4 staff. Is that the 4 staff you wanted, though? I think that was intended to save the Tiny, but it gets the Clockwork killed instead. And now the Timbersaw.
Leave.
Yeah, he just showed up and it was like, wait a minute.
Later, boys. Good luck.
I'm going to do a 360 and get the hell out of here.
He showed up. This is not the party I thought it was. Wrong room. Sorry. Got back in the elevator.
It is beginning to come to fruition now.
They are getting there. And this Naga is starting to pull ahead with the map control. Hard done. And they're just getting the pick
Just
off.
straight up, Carl TP's in, and half a second later, he's dead.
What was cute?
Cute,
Cute You could still just go normal Naga items and just rely on the net worth in your team. I don't think that's a bad route either.
Sure.
This is a weird game because he's going to have to fight through long BKB durations, and I feel like whatever makes his illusions as tanky as possible is what's good. So Scotty, Lincoln's, Hex type your build-ups sound pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Hex is decent if you think you can just go in Hex to start a fight. Otherwise, I think Scotty's
He's going the Orchid route.
I don't know if I like
oh my god, what a hook shot. 3 people inside of the cogs with the bow coming in soon. Now they're tanky, but Raven's on the high ground and he's beginning to shred these heroes. Now there is going to be the song going out from the Naga. Bosku activated his BKB, got the Sprout out.
We got out.
Oh, mirror image outside of the Sprout. A lot of damage from the high ground, though, still, though, from Carlo and Tino. They're delivering some magic damage. Toss up. Cogs push him over the cliff, and Bob is going to run interference here. Pullback on the Chakram isn't quite enough to get the kill on Bosku, but they can't. Oh, Dims, never mind.
Go to sleep.
It's gonna say he was gonna. He may still die, actually. He's pretty slow.
Yeah, that looked a lot better than it actually was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not winning that fight off that initiation, this game's looking rough. Because I feel like once you're out of EKBs on Blacklist, if the fight's even, you've lost. Because Timber and Coddle are going to take that fight over. They just have way better.
It looks like Palos.
The
hook shot late, but the push out. That was sad. Tino hit him with a blind light.
Blind lighted him.
Yeah. He's like, yo, if that hook shot wasn't good enough to win us a fight, then I'm gonna have to steal Aegis. Which, it was pretty close. But now Palos is going high ground. By the way, he is gonna go AC, or at least has it queued up for now.
Yeah, I like that. It's definitely the best value item in this game. Force Staff's probably gonna bail out.
Gets him away. Bob is pretty far forward here, and he may lose his Aegis for free, mostly. I mean, Blacklist, Abe can push him back in. Now, he does have BKB, so we won't have to worry about that silence or the X.
It's just a failed high ground, though.
I like the stacks of papers that Seb brought, to TI.
1,000 timies.
Just tiny.
I mean, are you telling me Jirax didn't spam play that hero at all those TIs?
Another attempt. Honestly, not bad timing again by AU. He's just like really a second off each time. He's too easy to hit him with the X Torrent, but nobody else was around. Raven was too busy farming up triangle area. He's trying to get a Shadow Blade.
You got
another attempted toss back. Telekinesis throw back. Oh no, but the arrow! Oh, Raven. They had an opportunity to be able to get their kill, but Raven runs into an arrow. Unlucky. They used to be a major contender until he took an arrow to the knee, and now Blacklist. I mean, reminder, this is the position that they're in. They win this series, they're in contention for being able to go to the major. They lose it, they're in contention for going down to Div 2. And it's a possibility. Another toss back. It's going to be used immediately. They do have the lift and also a hook shot going in. A lot of stuns, but not a lot of damage. Raven is now going to show up here, but he's targeting Bob, who still has that Aegis of Bloodstone to work with. The supports who went in and got their stuns off are going to die like AU. He immediately buys back where he can.
Palos. Damage, though.
There is no damage.
It has to be Drow right-clicking people, and she still hasn't used. Raven has not popped his BKB yet. They have not committed to the fight. Another toss back.
Okay, Shanks finally going to die, and they actually got a really good Frostbite explosion onto the heroes of Execration. Bob and Carlo took a decent amount of damage, but again, the Will-O-Wisp goes out, and Blacklist have to reset around it. Four staff, trying to get Bosku back.
Really deep.
Oh, Bob. Oh, we got it with the double chakram, though.
Sliding away. That's just Mega? No, it's not Megas. They have Rack top. Sorry, I thought we went the whole gambit here, but
not quite
looking like Megas,
but soon.
Okay, guys, that was pretty cool.
You don't have the answer. You just don't. You're looking at relegation.
Come on, Bosku again. Four staff, but it's still not enough. The Orchid pop was able to get in. Now they got the toss back underneath the Will-O-Wisp. Perfect move for Shanks, and that's it. GG is called. And Blacklist, well, they're certainly not going to Berlin, and now they're in a nasty situation. They've scored 2 and 4. A possibility that they could end up in a tiebreaker for the lower division.